5 cruise ships dropped anchor in Port Castries on Tuesday, March 1st. For tourism officials, the sight of the floating cities in the natural Castries harbour highlights the continued recovery of the island's tourism sector. Minister Ernest Hilaire says stakeholders are encouraged by what they characterize as outstanding arrival numbers.
It is a sign of the cruise ship industry really starting to pick up again. They have faced some really challenging times. As you can imagine, the nature of a cruise, the nature of a cruise ship and its operations, the whole coronavirus pandemic has really affected them. Even when the ship started to sail again, they could not do so at full capacity.
Moreover, Hilaire believes it's indicative of growing confidence in the island as a safe destination with a strong management of COVID-19. He is convinced that this is the impetus behind flotilla of vessels parked portside at the picturesque capital.
We are seeing gradually an increase in that capacity, and we're seeing more cruise ships are now, sailing and certainly coming to the port. Even again, when they return, we still had issues with cases on board and whether we'd allow them to berth in St. Lucia. But certainly we are seeing, as we come into the ending of the season, a significant number of arrivals. We are preparing for the next cruise season, and we're hoping that come the next season we will see improvement in numbers compared to last year.
But who should take credit for this development? Former Minister for Tourism Dominic Fede, in a social media post, believes the turnaround is attributed to the policies of the ex-UWP regime, which he served in, stating, quote, "Seeing Port Castries yesterday convinced me that we made the right decision to reopen the tourism industry against the SLP calls to close the borders," unquote. Fede expressed his delight that stakeholders, including taxi drivers and tour operators, are benefiting from what he claims is the work of the previous Alain Chastanet administration. He further called on the SLP government to announce a plan of action to, quote, "allow vendors more opportunities to benefit," unquote. Hilaire concedes there are challenges, but vows to formulate policy to overcome these obstacles.
We still have issues, though, in sorting out with vendors and creating the bubble. And this has been a very difficult issue and vexing issue for us to resolve, because the cruise ships still want passengers to go out on tours that are within a bubble and confined. They don't want the passengers to just be out in the open, mixing vaccinated and unvaccinated. As you can imagine, it poses a threat to them if passengers come back having interacted with persons who may or may not have been exposed. So it is proving a challenge for us, a real challenge. And therefore, we're hoping by the time the season reopens, we'll be able to sort out all those issues and it will be a different landscape.
St. Lucia remains a premier destination for visitors looking to get away from the colder temperatures during the winter season. Officials now have their eyes set on the summer, with the hopes that the island will continue to attract cruise ship after cruise ship to Port Castries. Solange Alfred, HCS News Force.